One of my Patreon supporters has challenged me to no die December, and it is December 1st as I am recording this. I have not died yet today, although I did have a close call. I was not holding a totem at the time, and now I am. My last totem was shot out of my hands by a rail cannon. If you haven't seen that, check out episode 73, my last episode. You will not be disappointed. But the goal is to not die in the month of December, and I am fairly careless, and I don't usually carry totems, and I work on projects that tend to lead to me dying quite a lot. If we go into my statistics here, and we're going to use this as my baseline too, so we can see that I didn't die if I don't die through the month of December. Number of deaths, 327. I've had this server for a little over a year or so, slightly less than a death a day. Now, granted, a lot of those deaths happened in clusters. I died a lot while working on the Nether Perimeter project. A lot of that was because of impatience and flying around. And I died a lot on my overworld perimeter because there were creepers all over the place that just kept blowing me up. So you know how it happens. You die in clusters. Usually once you die, you can get into death spirals. So it's not exactly that I die every day or anything like that. It's just I'm careless, I work on dangerous projects, and I don't usually use totems. So we decided that totems are fair game. Totems are fair game. It might actually be a good excuse for me to start using totems a little bit more. Maybe I'll die a little bit less. But I still think it's going to be quite a challenge. I'm not going to do anything whatsoever to make my projects less dangerous. If my project's dangerous, I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to go with whatever project is whatever I'm working on at the time. So I would bet against me if I were a betting person. So, but it should still be interesting. It should still be fun. Astazor has accepted the same challenge. He doesn't die nearly as often as I do. He does use totems. He's a little less careless, etc. So we were talking about the possibility of me using traps to encourage him to die. And what we've decided is that once one of the two of us has died, or January 1st, whichever comes first, we're going to go into homicide mode with this, and we're going to try and kill each other with traps. No PvP, no TNT. Any other kind of explosion, he already asked if gas were fair. So gas are fair game. I don't know what he has planned with gas, but we'll have to wait and see because one of us has to die first. So we'll see which one of us dies first in December. And then once one of us dies, we get to encourage each other to die, and then we'll see who dies first in that way as well. So it should be a fun month, possibly going into the month of January. So look forward to that. So, yep, baseline 327 deaths. Hopefully I can make it through the month of December without that number going up. A few episodes ago, I made some improvements to the Obsidian Bank. We changed around the storage and we added a bunch of items to this. This is a storage bank at spawn that allows us to store items that we have an awful lot of, and people can come and take whatever they want. But I forgot about the basement, and we keep a to-do list of things we want to do on the server, and Obsidian Bank upgrades was one of the things I wanted to do, but I couldn't cross it off the list because I hadn't technically finished everything that I wanted to do here. So if we come down here into the basement, this is a secret set of stairs, and we've got some vaults down here. So one of the things was that this used to be iron blocks right here. We ran out of lapis while we were building it, and so I needed to come back and replace all this with lapis once I actually had enough. And so I've come and I've done that. And also when we switched all this storage over to shulker boxes instead of chests, I actually needed the ceiling got dropped a block, and I needed to drop the floor a block. So this set of stairs was not here before. This floor was one block higher. So I took care of all that. Otherwise, the wall wouldn't have looked quite right, and the ceiling, we wouldn't have had as much clearance here. So I've done that as well. And then if we come over to my vault, I've made some changes to my vault. So I probably should reset. I should actually set a password. This is the default password. So I'll do that off camera. I'll actually set a password. But I've made some pretty significant changes to my vault. It used to be a very flat, squat thing. And there wasn't a lot of room for all my diamond blocks. And now it is much better looking. I like this quite a bit. And it allows us to hide. We've got these doors back here. It allows us to come back and access the machinery if we need to maintain anything. So those are a little better hidden. It was just over on the wall right over there. So now it's not there anymore. And I think this is a much nicer looking vault. It actually looks really nice. I haven't done anything to Asta's side. The idea was I just gave us some default vaults that we can work with, and then he can decorate his however he wants. But that is a pretty sad pile of netherite right there, and I'd like to do something about that. I've been slowly dwindling it. I used to have 6 and now I'm down to 4. So I'd like to do something about that next. Before I do that, I've got this nether pathway project that I've been working on here, and we're pretty close to done. We've got paths going to our gold farm, our wither farm, our desert, our end portal, and we don't have one that goes to the netherite digging machine. And that one's at 500, 500. It's not quite a straight diagonal from here, but I'm still going to make the pathway diagonal because I also have another machine. Our piglin bartering hall is at 350, 350. So I'd like to make a path that goes to both of those things. And then once we've got that built, then we can go out to the netherite digging machine and start digging out some netherite. Well, that didn't take long. Astazora logged in about 15 minutes ago, and he was working on something in the end, and an Enderman got him. And I was cheering that Enderman on, and apparently it worked. I don't know what happened there, but Astazora lasted all of 15 minutes. It's day 1. So we had a little bit of a talk, and we've discussed it with our Discord, and we've decided to give Astazora another chance. He technically died out due to lag. That's the only time he gets to use that excuse, but we're going to give him another chance. It's more interesting that way, but also we're adding another player to the server, and he's anxious to join the game himself, so I think it's just better if we just start afresh and we don't count Astazora's first death, as hilarious as it was, that it was basically 15 minutes into the day. We're gonna start a new game. There's actually some new rules of engagement as well. We've now got 3 players, so obviously it's when 2 players die in December that we move on to stage 2, and we've also decided that the player who won No Die December, so the player who wins the first round, the last player to die in December, or the person who doesn't die, gets an extra death in the second round. So basically, the first player to die twice, or the last player to die twice, is the winner of the whole thing. We haven't decided on a prize or anything like that, but we are going to do some sort of prize where the losers have to do something. We're not sure exactly what for the winner, and we'll figure out what that is in the very near future. But the new player that we're adding to the server is Qarm. Qarm is the person who designed the trading hall that we worked on very recently. He's also a great builder. He does some really interesting builds, and he combines his builds with redstone just beautifully. And so I am excited to have him added to the server. He is in Europe. I'm not sure if the time zones are going to work out for me to get a recording with him in this episode, but we will try to do that at some point in the fairly near future. And when he does, he's going to put out some videos himself. And when he does, I will make sure to link those in my video so you can go check him out. But in the meanwhile, I've made him a little prep kit here. That's a bunch of rockets, and here's some equipment to get him all started. So I'm going to carry those down to spawn, drop them off for him, and I hope you all give a warm welcome to Qarm. That distraction aside, I have finished up the pathway here. I chose red and orange for the colors because both of the things that we're linking here were added with the nether update. So I figured these were some nice nether colors. So if we come down this way, we can see the piglin bartering hall just off the path over this way, little pathway that runs down to it. If we continue down this way, then we get to the netherite mining machine. Now, I haven't been here in a while. This is one of the first things that I set up in 1.16. And when I first did this, I haven't really been back since. We only had access to my brewery brewed 1 shulker box of potions at a time, and you definitely need fire resistance potions in order to do this, and we kept running out. And now my brewery will make as many shulker boxes as I need, and we've also set up piglin bartering, so we've got access to basically infinite gravel, which can be used to fill in the lava. So the process doesn't get any easier, but the resources required to do this are now readily available, and I shouldn't run out. So hopefully that makes that a little bit easier. In case you haven't seen the episode where I built this, or if you just like explosions, who doesn't? This is my netherite mining machine. So all I got to do is hit this note block right here. This is by Omango. I'll link the original video if anybody's interested in the specifics. But it will blow up a little bit, and then anytime I spot lava, I've got to come and fill it in. Usually it's just these single spots right here, but rarely you will run into large lava pools. And basically all you can do in those instances is drink a fire resistance potion, which, by the way, there should always be one on my hotbar. It could be very dangerous if there isn't. So you gotta drink a fire resistance potion, swim through it, and just get up to the top and fill it in. That's all you really can do. So that can be a pretty grindy part of the process. And how fast this thing is definitely depends on how much lava you run into. You can get really lucky and not hit any lava and get like 50 or 60 ancient debris in an hour. Or you could hit 2 large lava pools and spend an hour filling them in and get no ancient debris in that lava in that hour. So unfortunately, this is still one of the best methods I've found. As grindy as it is, it's one of the best methods I've found to get ancient debris. A lot of people have recommended world eaters, but I've done the math, and a regular world eater would get about 500 in a 288 by 288 area. You'd get about 500 ancient debris, and it would take at least 20 hours just to set that up. And then, there's some risk involved with the world eater itself. It might actually blow itself up. Netherworld eaters are more prone to do that than overworld versions. So, yeah, I mean, unless you need the actual perimeter for something else, I almost don't recommend world eaters. If you need the perimeter for something else, then I actually think it's a pretty good idea. But, you're still going to end up filling in a lot of lava. There's still a ton of setup, and you have to do all that setup before you even get anything. So this one, I don't know, they're about a wash. I might actually end up doing a world eater at some point just because they're kind of fun to do. But for now, this works, but it is a grindy process. It's great when you don't run into too much lava. It's not too bad. But when you run into those large pools, it can really eat into your motivation really, really quickly. But we'll see how far we can get. Let's see how, so far I've been on the latter side where I've already had one medium-sized pool. I've only gotten 4 ancient debris. I'm probably about 20 minutes in so far. This gravel right here, this is where I had to fill in a pool right here. So let's hope I get better luck than that, and let's see how we do. Well, I tried. I just filled in a huge lava lake, and I came back out here, and I activated the machine once, and I got this. And I'm just losing my patience. I got 61 ancient debris so far. It's a pretty good haul. I wanted to get more, but I just can't do this anymore right now. I will try to come back later. We desperately need to upgrade our honey farm. I set this up a long, long time ago, and I meant to do more than 2 modules even at the time, but I ran out of glass bottles, and so I stopped at 2 modules, and I meant to come back and upgrade it. And it's been about a year or so since that happened, and nothing has changed, and we've had to wait here for honey in the recent past, and this thing creates about 50 honey blocks an hour. So even if you want a small amount of honey, you need to wait at least an hour, probably longer. So it needs to be upgraded. I've done the math, and so like I said, it creates 50 honey blocks per hour. This is actually 48 bees total, so it's about, I mean, give or take, it's a little bit off, but it's about 1 bee per honey block per hour. I'd like to make a honey farm that creates a shulker box per hour, which means I'm going to need about 1,700 bees. I'd actually like to make it a little bit bigger for aesthetic reasons, so I've set up a breeder here because we're going to need an awful lot of bees. So here's the breeder right here. The idea is that the baby bees can fit through these slabs here, but the adult bees cannot. There's a whole bunch of breeding bees on the other side. I might actually add more because I need an awful lot of bees. So I just sit here and spam click some flowers through these slots here. And then when I'm done, all the babies will come through and they will go to these flowers here. They will get some pollen on their bottoms, and then they will go into the hives. And when I start getting a decent number of bees that are just floating around, that means all the hives are full, and I need to pull them off the wall and replace them with new ones. So this appears to be working pretty well. I definitely am going to be spending a while doing this, but, so far so good. So Qarm has summoned a wither on his second day. During No Die December, he actually lost it for a second. I came over to help him find it. And he decided to fight it in the open instead of using like the end portal or a cave in the underground or something like that. Ooh, I almost flew right through it. There we go. Hi. How you doing? So I figured I'd lend a hand. Hopefully I don't die. Well, yeah, I guess you did. That it was a gutsy move fighting a wither, but we're having a lot of trouble. It's been a couple Minecraft days already, and we're having a lot of trouble getting this wither. He keeps flying up. It's once we get him into the actual melee mode, it's so hard to do damage when he's way up in the sky fast enough to fight against his regen. And we have not had much luck here. So Qarm fought himself a pretty good fight, and I might have been a little bit of a liability. I'm not so great at combat, and I'll be honest. Asta has joined us now. He is quite a bit better at combat, so we're going to see if we can get rid of this thing once and for all.
Just a bunch of people flying around it. This is amazing.
Oh, got him twice. Ooh, come on, he's real close to the...
He's in regen mode.
Okay, we can't hit him with the bow anymore. We have to use an axe.
I've been swinging at him with my.
Oh, a smite axe would probably do a lot more damage, wouldn't it? Oh, now I've been withered.
No idea.
Get out of here. We're
Half health. Yeah, I got down to half a heart. I think. I can't really tell though.
Did you get totems on you?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have came out here without that.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Here.
Well, I did. So.
Oh, there goes the totem.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Abort!
Oh! Oh!
I think we
did I just win?
Yeah, you just won the first round.
Wow. Okay.
Oh!
Oh, because
I hit a tree.
You hit a tree.
I hit a tree flying away from him.
Ooh, that's a good hit.
Come on, come on. Oh, there we go.
Hang on, whoever's flying away, don't. Oh, okay, that's neat. Whenever you fly away really fast, he follows you at a certain. He follows you at a certain speed relative to what your speed.
Oh, I almost hit a player.
Okay, we can do it.
He's got him so close. Ooh, hi. How you doing? He decided I need a little bit of weather applied to me.
I was at half a heart again.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay away for a minute. He's almost dead.
Hit.
I saw that. That was a lot of damage. Come on. Yes! Yes!
We did it. Oh, no.
Really? Oh my god.
No, he's not dead yet.
Really? Premature celebration, I guess. I could have sworn he had like no health bar there.
No. Oh!
He's gone. There you go.
Kill him?
Oh, you got him?
Yep.
Yes. Finally.
Oh, well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, what? Oh,
Okay.
well,
If he didn't die, he died again. So there we go.
I think I'm not even gonna transform the star into a beacon. I'm just gonna rename it and keep it.
All right,
name.
we got a museum in the works, so that'd actually be a good thing to. If you need beacons, by the way, we can supply you with beacons. I just figured you probably
Really?
want. Yeah.
You could have said that earlier.
You didn't ask.
I still got 8 wither skulls, so we could summon another. We could summon another one.
Maybe underground this time.
No.
No, right in the air.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
You want to see if we
Let's
can kill
just do it
Asta
again.
now?
Coming in hot.
Oh my
Bye.
god. That wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't.
At the end, we got it. We got the star.
Yes, we did. So welcome to the server, Qarm.
Thanks.
What a wonderful
was the best
welcome.
Initiation ever.
Yeah, and you brought that upon yourself. I mean, partially my fault. I could have told you we had a bunch of beacons.
No, that was my fault. I should have summoned it on underground.
Yeah,
Thanks for the entertainment.
yeah, that was fun. I'm sorry we weren't able to kill Asta. I thought for sure we'd be able to kill Asta. Those right here, there's just like
Do you have any names for the Nether Star?
Qarm's Initiation.
Qarm's Initiation.
I like it.
Well, it turns out that none of us are particularly very good at staying alive in the month of December. We made it to December 3rd. So it is what it is. What Estes decided that because we all died so quickly that he actually wants his first death to count, which would technically make me the winner of the first round, but then I actually died twice to the Wither. So we've decided, and yes, we're playing a little bit fast and loose with the rules. We decided we're just going to move on to the second round, and everybody has one life. And we also decided the prize was just bragging rights. Because apparently, we'll see. I mean, now we get to trap each other, but the rule is still the same. Any death counts. We don't have to trap each other for a death to count. It just any death counts. So we all got to stay alive. So we'll see if we actually even make it to the traps before we just start dying on our own. Well, yeah, I mean, there was a Wither involved, and I got a little impatient with a Wither. I shouldn't have let my totem fire off in the first place, and then the second time around, I forgot to put a totem back in my hand. So yeah, we probably shouldn't have unleashed a Wither in the first place. But, you know, I mean, it's all fun and games. I think this has been pretty fun so far. Let's see if we can keep it going a little. I'd really like to prove that I can go a little while without dying. We'll see how that goes. Despite all the distractions this week, I have managed to get 14 shulker boxes filled with beehives. That is a little bit short of what I wanted to get. I was going to go for 30, but it turns out we don't have enough glass bottles. We have 198 shulker boxes of glass bottles, and that is not enough for the farm that I wanted to create. The problem is that every beehive has a dispenser over it, and that dispenser has to be completely full. So every single beehive requires 9 stacks of empty bottles. So every 3 is a shulker box. It adds up super duper quick. And then you need enough empty bottles to fill during your AFK sessions. And then you've got all the hoppers, and I can use a trick with the hoppers where we can fill the last 4 slots. So it's only 1 stack per hopper, but it just all adds up super duper quick. And I did the math and I figured out what we could fit into there. And it's slightly less than half of the size of the farm that I wanted to build. And I don't know if I'll ever scale it up at some point in the future. We need another 300 shulker boxes of glass bottles. It took me several days of raiding at my raid farm in order to get the glass bottles that we have now. And there might be a lot of lag even in the size of the farm that we want now. And then doubling that might be too much. So we'll stick with this for now. And maybe at some point in the future we'll decide we need to scale it up. I doubt it though. But we'll see how things go. But I'm gonna end the episode for now, and we're gonna start working on that actual beehive in the next episode. So I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you next week where we work on a giant honey farm. Bye now!